What up, brothers? It's the Clipper King returning with the first review for quite a while, and it's a special one tonight. I'm going to introduce the figure and I'm going to explain how I came by it. As you can see, it's the Enterbay Leon the Professional figure. Really nice piece. The only sad thing is, it's not the Clipper King's figure. I'm going to explain how I came by it, why I came by it, and why I'm reviewing it. Some of my friends already know, but for those who don't, I'm just going to tell you why. Right, about 18 months ago, I was searching around for the original Predator 1 figure. The price had gone through fucking roof, and I was at my wits' end trying to get it, trying to put offers in, kept getting outbid. The figure were up around £400 in UK, or it were hard to find altogether. Anyway, I stumbles across a seller, got it for sale, and I think he wanted about £350 for it at the time. A few of you might be familiar with this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So Clipper King did what he does. I put a shout out. So is this best you can do? I think he got it for about £350, like I said, or best offer. I put a cheeky little offer in at £300, which is what I could really afford at the time. The seller did come back to me. Great guy called Lee Ward. Told me best he could do it for £280. Now that were through PayPal, delivered to my home address, which is unusual because I normally have my stuff go to my work address, but with my PayPal stuff it does go to my home address. So anyway, we settles on that price, £280. I were happy because I'd saved me some money, and obviously Lee had made a sale. Anyway, we stayed in touch, me and Lee. I come to understand that he owned an internet store, store you've probably seen on eBay or Facebook. He's on both, and the store's called The Good, The Bad and The Robots. You've probably heard me mention him before. Like I say, he's a really great guy. So anyway, to cut a long story short, I made the purchase. I'm more than happy with the Predator figure, as you all know. It's rated really highly in my collection, and I've always been grateful to Lee for selling me at that price. Now, like I said, me and Lee kept in touch, get odd messages back and forth. When I've been looking for figures, I've been like asking him prices and just basically looking at his store online. His store online, by the way, is if you type it into your search bar, it is The Good, The Bad and The Robots.co.uk, and he basically specialises in backdated, sold out figures more than anything. He does do some pre-orders as well, but he's not so much a 1/6 Bruce style seller. It's more the hard to find collectibles. So yeah, like I said, that's what you would put into your search engine. Anyway, me and Lee have spoke sort of over summer about doing some work together in regards to doing short-term loans on figures that I could review, shout him out, try and put some custom his way, or a discount on figures or whatever. Anyway, it went back and forth, and he said he got a few figures that I might be interested in. We talked through them. I said what I'd like to do and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, just after Christmas, Lee got in touch with me. He'd seen one of my reviews, said that I'd like the Leon, but at that time I couldn't really afford it because I bought a lot of Hot Toys figures. He sent me this mail saying he got the figure, were interested in reviewing it in exchange for a shout out to him. So here's his shout out. Like I've said, he's an awesome guy. He's a really stand-up guy, and you know Clipper King likes that. Don't like no bullshitters, don't like no fake people, don't like overhyped people or people like that. So yeah, that's not Lee. He's a great guy, and like I said, it takes a lot of trust to send somebody an £150 figure, ask them not to damage it. They're free to do what they want, obviously within reason. He knows Clipper King treats you with respect, and he's probably seen the reviews where Clipper King sent his own figures out for other people to review. So yeah, he sent me this figure, he's as good as his word. I'm going to put this review out, and like I said, even if it's just to have a look at what he's got in stock, boys, just get across to his site. Like I say, it's The Good, The Bad and The Robots.co.uk. Get across there, because I've just had a little look, and he's actually still got an original Predator in for, I think it's £270, something like that. Now that is still an awesome price for that awesome piece, and I think if I'm right, this Leon figure is still for sale for about £170. Now, I think the release price on this figure about £150. And if that's the case, and he's only trying to make £20 on it, you know he's not trying to flip or scalp anybody. So get across and just show the brother some love. So anyway, I'll crack onto source material and I'll get this review rolling. you all know, seen Leon. It's a great film, an indie type film, and I think it was stroke of genius with Enterbay cracking onto this figure, because these are the sort of lines that Hot Toys overlook. Hot Toys are going for the obvious choices, the superhero films, the Predator films, and the other films along them lines, and they're missing out on figures like this, like probably the Scarface figure, others, maybe Taxi Driver, just other more independent style films that they should be cracking onto, because if anybody's like me, I want the cult classics. I don't want repaints of Iron Man and fucking remakes of this and remakes of that and milk and porridge versions of War Machine. Fuck all that. Give some figures that we're actually proud to show. That's what Clipper King's got to say. So yeah, source material on this fit, definitely a top film. Pulls at your heartstrings a bit, really good story, really well acted. Clipper King's giving it an easy 5 out of 5. Right, on to packaging. Any of you brothers out there know that when it comes to packaging, Enterbay are putting their thing down. No doubt about it. Sometimes they leave Hot Toys trailing behind with the style of packaging, the quality of the boxes they use, the cardboard, the innovative way that the box opens or unfolds, so to speak. Yeah, you really can't fault Enterbay with that. Obviously, I own the Enterbay Fist of Fury, as a lot of you know. I own the Donnie Yen, which were basically a shoebox, but it were just really well done. The layers, the foam and everything they use, really good. And it's no different with this Leon figure. So as you can see, I'm showing you the front cover picture, which is like a shadowed effect picture from the film, obviously. It's not a movie still, but it does look really cool. There's something very... I don't know if it's, I don't know the proper word for it, but very artistic about it, I'd say. So yeah, really nice box, also in really good condition. As I said, Lee sent it me. I packaged it really well, so he's maintained the quality of the box. Turning it round, quite heavy again for Enterbay. As you can see, it is like a black and white or sepia style picture from the film this time. And obviously you scroll down, you get the credits. So I'll just put a small pause in there, and I'll open the box up and show you how it appears to your eyes as you open it up. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up before your very eyes. So it's got a magnet side, which is always a nice touch. And it's actually on the opposite side to what Hot Toys normally do it. It's actually down the left hand side. And yeah, you take that flap and you unwrap it. Now what you notice is, because of how the trays are, the tray at this side, if you've not got hold of it correctly, it would fall out. But obviously, because I've opened it before, I'm showing you now, you can see that it's not fell out. So down the right hand side, you get the stand and some of his accessories. Down the middle you get his weaponry, which looks awesome. I will say I have opened the box and looked at it, but I haven't actually took anything out at this point apart from the figure. So you've seen it here, you're seeing it as I do it, so to speak. Then on the left hand side of the compartment, as you can see, the very nice foam tray. Lift that cover off, and there's the man himself. You can see special head sculpt. He's wearing his standard clothing, and I'm going to take it out and we're going to move on. But firstly, I'm going to score the packaging up for you. I'm very happy with it. It's a really nice piece, really well done again by Enterbay, and I'm going to give it an easy 5 out of 5. Right brothers, rolling on to likeness, and straight out at gate you can see that likeness don't take no explaining. It's badass, it's fresh to death. I'm going to try and get as close as I can with this camera. Now you know I'm working in full HD. Try and get you the details. I can't show you much more details than that, brother. You know that's John Reno through and through, really. Now the first thing I noticed with this is, if you look at his eyes, I thought it looks slightly cockeyed, but the fact of the matter is, you look at the film and them eyes are painted just about perfect, because his eyes are slightly off. Now I'm just going to pull away, just show you the pose I've got, because I know a lot of people like to have glance at the pose. As you can see, got his gun out, arm's length, got the silencer on the gun. Let's get this way. He's looking down his arm, straight through the sights. His coat open now, got the bolt cutters in hand. He's just bust into somebody's apartment. He's about to start ripping shit up. Still got his coat on, the sculpted shoes obviously, and yeah, that's the pose I've gone for. If you like it, feel free to use it. But like I say, it is a low lit room, but I've obviously got the camera light on. I'm just trying to show you it best I can. Yeah, so like I say, the way they've painted the eye, it is slightly cockeyed, but it is accurate. I've watched a clip of the film earlier, and I've got to say, that is as good, if not better, than some Hot Toys sculpt. So if that's as good as you can ask, Enterbay certainly have kicked some ass with that. Like I said, the expression is about perfect for it. Just really, really good. You can't fault it at all. I'll put it in hand and move it round for you. So, profile, just about perfect. Over the shoulder. Really nice piece. Like I said, just a little bit pissed off that I'm putting money to one side at the moment for the classic Predator, or so I'd have snapped this bad boy up without question. Yeah, so anyway, don't want to beat around bush and drag this thing out. The likeness on this figure, boys, is a definite 5 out of 5. Top marks to Enterbay on that one. Loving it. Hey guys, articulation. Just explain the pose again for you. Just got him basically as if he were in stealth mode. He's sneaking about. As you can see, I've put the harness back on, but again, like I say, I've not put the weapons on it. I don't want to over fuck around with the figure and ruin it for someone else. So, yeah, like I say, as if he's stealthing around the corridors in the building he lives. Got his silenced pistol in one hand, sort of cradled with the other hand, and yeah, the articulation's really good. Only a couple of tiny little nitpicks with it, and it's very typical of an Enterbay figure. The articulation at the lower neck is absolutely pants. You can very rarely dip the head too far forward. In fact, on my Donnie Yen figure, I actually pulled the head off altogether and sort of carved away some of the neck hole just so his head would dip further forward. Now again, if this were my figure, I would definitely do that, because a brooding figure like Leon I think would look really good with his head dipped forward slightly. But like I said, it isn't my figure, so I'm not going to start fucking about and doing things like that with it. His hands did meet nicely, quite easily. His arms feel a little bit loose, but I know that Enterbay figures feel like that from new. Again, obviously it's holding the pose. It's not flopping around. It don't feel like a ragdoll. But when you get an Hot Toy, you know there's a stiffness about it when you get it new. With Enterbay, it's not so much. But like I say, it's not flopping around. Talking about flopping around, one thing that does always flop around on Enterbay figures, if they're not wearing long boots, I've noticed the ankles feel very loose. Now, I know it's not just this figure that has it. My Bruce Lee was the same, and my Donnie Yen was also the same. Very loose feeling ankles, very fragile feeling, I think. Again, it is stud, as you can see. There's no stand. When I'm doing my reviews, I'm trying to do them without stand, because I'm trying to represent what the figure will do. Like I say, it is stood without the stand, and its feet will hold a pose, but they just seem to move a little bit too easy. But again, not annoyingly so, and I am still going to give it a 4 out of 5.